Now, the push to net zero is gathering pace, with the Chancellor yesterday announcing that nuclear power will now be recategorised as sustainable. But in Swansea, they're turning to hydrogen to power some of the local industry in the area, which of course includes steel. They recently launched a new cluster of 30 organisations that have come together to help with this push. With more, here's our Swansea correspondent, Dean Thomas Welch.
Ben White is a PhD student at Cardiff University, although he swapped the comfort of the lecture theatre for a place in industry. He's currently researching how hydrogen, a clean gas, can be used in the production of steel. Ben's hopeful his work will see Wales slash its carbon emissions and become a net zero nation by 2050.
I found myself in a really nice position because I loved learning in school. I loved the prospect of doing a PhD, but then also I enjoy the industry side of things and solving real-world problems, especially in South Wales. I mean, I grew up here.
Ben's experiments take place here at Cardiff University's Turbine Research Centre in Port Talbot. This facility forms part of the South Wales Industrial Cluster, which has recently published a plan to decarbonise some of Wales's biggest polluting industries. They say a £30 billion investment could see South Wales heavy industry completely eliminate its carbon emissions by 2040.
So Richard, how does the analysis of combustion help with the decarbonisation of industries?
So what we're looking at here today is the deployment of a new type of fuel, and this fuel is known as hydrogen. And what we're trying to do with our collaborations in the South Wales Industrial Cluster is we're trying to get hydrogen deployed across South Wales to replace natural gas. Now, natural gas contains carbon and it emits CO2, which is bad for climate change. So if we replace natural gas with a fuel such as hydrogen, as we're analysing in this particular setup, we can then decarbonise effectively. But it's a difficult job, and we have to work with our industrial partners in order to do it.
Well, South Wales has a long history of manufacturing and energy production, but this report hints at a new era of clean energy production that will not only help Wales reduce its carbon emissions, but will also safeguard thousands of jobs in the sector for future generations. The report says 100,000 industrial jobs could be at risk if government, industry and the public do not support the urgent work that's needed to reduce greenhouse gases.
There's a risk that if we fail to manufacture in this sustainable way and get the support from the government, so there's a risk that we'll lose our industries and we'll offshore emissions and we'll offshore manufacturing and strategically important manufacturing for Wales and for the UK.
The Welsh Government say they are looking forward to learning more about the findings of the report, while the UK Government says it wants to make sure the economy of Wales is fit for the future, alongside achieving net zero targets. Dean Thomas Welch, ITV News, Port Talbot.